almost like bullshit because, dude, yeah, if not for us, if not for this game, you're nowhere. Your
Yeah.
event has died.
Well, I think in general it just goes to the trend of like how SRK has been changing.
Mhm.
It's not really focused on I guess like the community anymore. It's more focused on like events and sponsorships and
Mhm.
Right,
like
right, right.
the newer games, right? And I feel like that is I guess the way that the scene is moving. But then you
Mhm.
have sites like Event Hubs, right, which like sprung up out of nowhere and are now arguably just as big, if not bigger, and are showing love to the game still.
Mhm.
Like Event Hub still has all of the Third Strike info posted on their site, like on top of the banner. So
True.
it's like I feel it's like it might be a personal thing for them.
Mhm.
Mm.
Going back to what Fran said.
Yeah,
Fair-
go ahead,
Well,
Lloyd.
I kind of noticed that we kind of lost the stream a little bit, so sorry about that, guys.
Mhm.
But no, I mean, I remember Event Hubs actually was around just as long as SRK, I think. But it was kind of I thought it was under a different name. I thought it was like under Carathrow.com or something like that. Was it some shit like that?
Oh, I
I
wouldn't
don't
know.
I don't know if you
I
guys
don't remember.
remember that site or something, but
No, no.
anyways, I digress.
Hmm. Actually,
Go ahead, Newt.
Evo Reloaded. That happened what almost 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and like I remember 3 years ago. Yeah, I remember I saw Justin Wong at a NEC, and Justin came up to me and he was like, "Dude, Mutant, you should have went to Evo Reloaded. It was fun." So like that was the only thing I heard about Evo Reloaded. So
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe it was fun for him, but from what you had described, Durlaf, yeah, maybe
well,
the event wasn't all that enjoyable.
Well, I mean, it was a great event. I think that
Hmm.
an anniversary event like that where you highlight the older games that should be fun because you had a lot of heads not just coming up for Third Strike but
Hmm.
also CVS2 and the heads for ST. One of the big things though, because there was a really big there was a lot of arguing because the tournament was run on 360. Now people were told that we
Mm.
actually have arcade boards to run off of,
Hmm.
like old school, like grimy style, or at least like bring super guns. So running it on like 360 on the HD monitors, it turned a lot of people off. And one of the other things that kind of sucked about it was not a lot of top players really did show up. You didn't get the West Coasters like Five Star Yi Wang, Pyro didn't show up. So uh, what could have been a who's who like a nice revival event didn't shine as I think as much as I believe it should have. But what's cool though was when you looked at the stream at the end you saw the numbers of who was watching Third Strike at the end, and it was like 10,000 people watching Wong play against Neiman. Like
Yeah.
that's not a key matchup, but still, like 10,000 people watching Third Strike. I mean, that alone is cool. So, all in all, a success. But there's so much that could have been done, so much more that could have been done with that event.
I feel like that
Right.
kind of goes back to Co-op Cup too, because like if you guys have ever stayed up to watch those streams, they go on till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and they like every time I look at viewers, it always astounds me. It's like, dude, it's 4 o'clock in the morning here, and there's easily 10K plus viewers, like every time.
Mhm.
So it's like you would think for an event that gets that many eyeballs, SRK would cover it.
Mhm.
Not enough money.
For the most part, the only thing they do is just cover uh, the event itself when it gets like around like December.
Mhm.
But then after that, like they just cover the results and they just say that's it. Like they just post the time zones and that's it.
Mhm.
And that's all they do. And it's like you can't really promote an event like that, from just 2 weeks in advance and expect any hype about it. Like you could tell they don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just blatantly obvious, like the way they do
Yeah.
things. So
It's also a big shame too, because like even for Tokyo, Japan, not everyone lives there anymore. A lot of people have grown up and they've moved away. So everyone actually travels back just for Co-op Cup, and they stay that weekend to play a bunch of other tournaments, and none of that is ever covered.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really cool stuff.
Mhm.
well, this is why you guys should check out thisisthirdstrike.com, and you'll be able to find the announcement. You'll be able to find more updates about Co-op Cup because this is Third Strike. Me, Newt, Frankie, 3S, Hold That, and Gavin will all be there covering the event and playing in it. So yeah, we'll have more info for you guys.
Are you guys gonna be commentating? Like,
I wish that would be sick. If we get eliminated, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
If we get eliminated, well, what's up with that?
Just thought I'd ask.
We're going there to
No.
we're going there to wreck shop. That's what we're doing. Anyway, so guys, I guess the takeaway message is if you guys want, if any of you watching out there want SRK to start covering more Third Strike, I guess make your voice heard. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it won't. Who knows? All right. So after a bit of a shaky start, we're gonna go ahead and take a short break. But when we come back, we're gonna talk about one of the bigger Third Strike tournaments to happen in recent memory, and that is Clash of the Titans, which occurred at TFC this October. So stick around, guys, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Stay tuned.
All right, guys, welcome back to the all-new, all-inclusive House of Strikes. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Mutant XP, and we are debuting a new format where we have 4 regular hosts, all from a different region of the country. And so now that we're back, we're gonna tackle our second topic. This past October, one of the bigger Third Strike tournaments in recent memory went down, and that, of course, was Clash of the Titans, which happened at the Fall Classic in 2016. And so, just to tell you a little bit about the tournament, for those of you guys who didn't catch it, or for those of you who weren't aware of it, the Fall Classic happened on October, I believe, 7th and 8th, I think, or what were the days exactly? Or I'm trying to remember what the days were.
October 7th through 9 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 7 and 9.
Yeah, it was like
7. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Fall Classic went down this past October, the weekend of October 7th through 9th. And as far as Third Strike was concerned, I think we had the second biggest turnout at that major. Only second to obviously SF5. We had a few different things going on for Third Strike. We obviously had a singles tournament. I think that hit 60 players, or at least almost 60 players. We had a regional team tournament. And we had also to round out the weekend, we had 2 high-profile first to 10 matches between 4 of arguably the strongest Third Strike American players. And that was, we had Nika KO versus Ryan and Yuki versus 5-Star. And so the Fall Classic was definitely a great event for Third Strike players and fans. And so our next question is this. What was your favorite thing about TFC? And I guess we're going to go ahead and start with someone who was there. Andrew Duralath, why don't you go ahead and start off for us? What was your favorite thing about TFC?
This is going to sound really weird, but Hurricane Matthew was my most favorite thing about TFC.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. And, well, okay, so obviously, like, the tournament went on during Hurricane Matthew. Raleigh really didn't get hit too hard by it, but the hotel lost power. And we couldn't run any other tournaments for that, obviously, because we don't have a real power supply to run the cabs, and there's water leaking everywhere. But the best part about it was that was when everybody started to really kind of connect. I mean, if we had been able to run the tournament and keep it going, I mean, we all still would have connected, but I don't think on the level that everybody else did. Because you got people that were pulling out phones to just check out old videos, and everybody seemed to like actually bro it up. And I remember the best part was everybody in the lobby at it was like 2 a.m, and they're bringing out handles of liquor, and there's like cases of beer everywhere, and it's all the old games. There's like Third Strikers around. Some of the ST guys are there as well. That was really like the most like the best part to me. It was like that night where it was just no frills, just everybody keep it chill, keep it all hanging out, and you got guys from the West Coast hanging with the East Coast, and it was just like there was nothing pretentious about it. It was just, hey, we're all hanging out. Like one of the things I'll liken it to, if you guys ever watched the Magic Johnson versus Bird, that documentary Bird versus Magic, it's like that point when Magic comes and does the commercial at Larry Bird's residence, and they finally get to connect over lunch. And that was what it was like to me, was all the players are finally getting to see, okay, there was Third Strike, this is what brought us together, so now this is who we are now. Like what are we beyond this? And we're the people behind the players, behind all the game. That was really the best, because now after TFC, you see how much camaraderie there is and how much people want to actually make the scene better instead of just retreating to their sides of the country. It's just now it's one collective effort. I think that was just the best part of TFC to me.
All right. So Carson, obviously you were there as well, commentating right beside Duralath. What was your favorite part about TFC?
I mean, I think Andrew took the words out of my mouth. Definitely my favorite thing about TFC in general was everyone got together and just wasn't a dick about it. I mean, I think everyone here knows, everyone watching or will watch, going into TFC, there was some tension from big boys and just the respective communities. But when it got there,
say what's on your mind, Carson.
I won't.
How do you really feel?
But everyone got there and no one was a dick about it. Everyone was cool. I mean, I really enjoyed it, seeing everyone come together and just play the game. And for some reason, Hurricane Matthew just having to contribute to that, because it was exactly what you said. We had no power, we couldn't play, so it was just like, how you doing? Let's talk. That was my favorite thing too. Yeah.
So, KD, obviously you weren't able to make it, but from a Stream Monsters perspective, because I know you watched almost all of it.
I did,
You know?
yeah. I stuck around for a bit of it. Yeah, from a streamer's perspective, I going into the event, I expected bloodshed. I literally thought you guys were going armed to the teeth with like broken beer bottles, and we're just gonna have at it. But seeing like what happened and how it all turned out was not what I expected at all. So in general, like just from like the production values and from like how it all like played out, I thought it was a pretty good event. The matches though were really what like made it for me because it seemed like everyone that weekend was playing at like an extremely high level, and I don't know if that's because there were so many good players there that everyone was like, I gotta bring my fucking A game. But like you could tell that West Coast brought their game, East Coast brought their game, like Texas even brought their game. Like one of my favorite moments was during the Generals where Luke just fucking ran through like half the team. That was fucking awesome to watch because I've watched Luke for a long time, and to see him play like against the national guys and do that well was pretty hype for me.
Yeah, that Generals battle was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was legit.
Yeah.
Luke turned it on that for that 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good
I don't
run.
remember that General's tourney, guys. I have to go. I have to
Yes.
go back to the archives.
There's a good
He wrecked
reason.
me.
Also,
There's a
I was
good
gonna say-
reason why Andrew doesn't remember that. All of Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say also from a streamer's perspective, it was awesome seeing Andrew get like progressively drunker.
Blown up.
You should have seen it in person. It was,
Oh, I bet it was
my
amazing.
God.
You know, he would go through these lulls, right? Where like, oh, I think he's getting better, and then like,
Yeah, no, he's not. No, he's not.
and then all of a sudden I see another drink in his hand. He's like, no. But anyway,
Yeah, that's why I said like next time, like next time you guys do it, like there has to be a role where you have to get like drunk. You have to get as drunk as you can like throughout the stream and just see how long you can endure.
but we all
Yeah,
drank
that,
on we
yeah.
all drank on Friday though. All of us drank.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know,
yeah,
just,
we're all like
some
like
more
even
than
during the
others.
generals battle, like Yoon was like knocked out. Like I
Well-
don't know if it was because of what he drank, or because he was tired.
You know,
but,
I was tired. It was
like
'cause I was tired.
he was like the second to last person on my team, and I'm like looking for this guy. I'm like, fuck, where's Newton? Like I don't want to play right now, but if I have to, I will. And I'm like, Newton! And like he's sleeping on like a couch, and then as soon as I say Newton, he wakes up and he's like. And then he just sits down
He
and he
kept hitting
proceeds
his
to
head like this.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was like, I
he
was
just
trying
woke
to wake up.
I was like, wow.
You know the funny
that
thing
was
about it is, right,
godlike.
I would never have taken a nap if I didn't think my team was so stacked. Because like I looked at because remember you were talking about Luke, right? Didn't Luke like take out like 10 players on our team?
Yeah,
he took out like
God.
he took out like
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 players straight, including I don't know, but he took out a lot of players. So I'm like I looked at our team, and ironically enough, the one name that where I felt like okay I could take a nap was the one player that put me in losers and singles, and that was Bean, Mr. Bean. So like I
Yeah.
saw Bean was on our team, and I'm like, all right, even if they get here, okay, Bean can hold it down for us. Even if they get here, so I can take a nap. I may not have to play, and that's the only
Yeah,
reason why I took a nap.
Luke beat Bean.
And then yeah, Luke just kind of went on a tear, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Lloyd, what was your favorite thing about TFC?
It's the competition. No, it was for me it was like I said it before, that TFC was one of the best like tournaments I've been to competition wise. It kind of rivaled Sunroof Cup for me. In the sense that, you know, all the best players from the country were there. And seeing everybody, like, you know, it was like a bunch of storylines that was going through that tournament. And that's one of the few things that I liked about it too, was like every type of storyline you can think of. Like Muin, he had a history of like losing to Makotos, but in that tournament he had to go through like 5 of them, and in order to get to top 8, he had to beat one of the best Makotos there, which was Nyanban. And you know, the fact that he did that like early in the morning, not even, he had to go through 2 blackouts, and then the entire night of worrying about like, okay, am I gonna lose this last game? Because he literally had to go through a wildcard game until they both decided to do another 2 out of 3. But then he finally made it through, and then, you know, to fight through all of that to get to top 8, like that was like crazy. And then
Well,
and
correction.
then Shotokan.
Correction. I played every Makoto player except one, and that was Makoto Mike. The one
That's true.
Makoto
That's
player
true.
that I fear the most, and I didn't have to play him. So
Nice.
That's true.
because
Yeah.
Duralap knows Makoto Mike is nasty.
Oh, he's so smart, and the dude's a tech fiend. So
Yeah.
every time I faced him, when we play on the shitty console called the PS3, it's like pulling teeth out when I have to fight him. Yeah.
Yeah. So go
So
ahead,
then,
sorry, Lloyd.
so after there was Carson and Carson and there was Gavin and Frankie who almost took out 5-star. There was 5-stars like resurgence into like top 8 to like get there. It was just so many different storylines, and it was just it was one of those type of tournaments that you just can't. You could write a movie about that tournament if you could. You know, like it was just that kind of tournament.
I don't know who would watch it, but okay.
You would watch it like fucking all your moments where you beat all the Makoto players. You
Yeah,
would watch
dude.
that shit.
No,
I think 10,000 people would watch it.
TFC was a
That's
little,
out.
TFC
That's why I
was
said
a
like
little
just
painful.
watching the stream like after that weekend, I even told Mutant I was like, dude, your necro like made me want to pick up the character because like just the matches that you played were so fucking they were so tense, dude. Like every match was like fucking
Butt
butt
cheeks were
clenching.
tight, son.
Yeah, that shit was fucking sick, dude. Like like even the match where you lost versus Yi, like it could have gone either way. Like one parry or one hit confirm and it would have been a totally different result.
That I don't like talking about that match. That match hurts.
That was a great match. That was a great match.
Yeah.
I
Don't
remember
worry,
yelling
no,
with Andrew.
I got you though. I got you.
That match hurts.
Like if I had to pick between like a match for like favorite match, it would probably either be that one or the run back of Yuki versus Nika. That was sick too. Like I think Nika put him into losers and then like y'all ran it back in losers final.
Yuki put Nika into losers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you came back and you like that match was ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, how about you guys? With the rest of you, what were your favorite matches at TFC, or something that stood out? Too many.
My favorite match is kind of weird actually.
All right. Well,
I really
you are
like.
Canadian, so. Yeah.
I really liked. Okay, my in singles, my favorite match hands down was Gavin versus 5-star.
Mm.
That was so.
Mhm.
I casted that. I mean, I commented on that. That was so tense. I couldn't breathe because it was like Gavin missed 2 low forwards and then 5-star missed a low forward. It was just like, oh my god, you could tell both of those guys was just stressed out about it. That was and Chun Ken is also a favorite match of mine. In terms of in general most entertaining, my favorite match was actually Lance versus Jibo. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was in the
Oh, I
teams.
don't remember that.
Oh, the team tournament, yeah.
Basically,
Oh,
so
yeah.
first, if Lance, when you're watching this, or if you watch this, I have a lot of respect for you as a player. I think you're a great Chun player. But that match, you sucked monkey ball. You missed every low forward in the world, and Jibo was just like doing these crazy like jump in 360 and did that air throw thing. It was amazing. But then that last round, like all Lance did was a forward roundhouse kick, that hop kick. And Jibo got hit by like 1,000 of them. I was just like, oh my goodness. It was just great entertainment and fun for me. That was a great match.
How about you, Katie? What was your? Oh, wait, no, you already talked about that. What was your
Yeah.
favorite match, Andrew?
There's so many matches I could go through. There's the match we're not talking about today.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, just for you, Honey Boo. The first of tens were excellent, and being able to witness them, firsthand with the stream. If there's any one match I could think, I don't remember the generals. Otherwise, I'd probably be picking one of those. I really can't pick a match because Lloyd touched on a really good point. The level that everybody played at, like everybody went like Super Saiyan 3 this weekend. All like just some Super Saiyans are better than others, but like that's how good it was. Like I can't pick one match.
Mhm.
That's how good this tournament was.
Mhm. And remember, Lance beat Lloyd in the generals battle on Friday.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
And it was a legit win too. It wasn't like
That was a legit win. Yeah, that was a legit win. That was hilarious.
Yeah. How about you, Lloyd? What was your favorite match? What was your favorite match at TFC or?
My favorite match, I think it would have to be you versus Gavin.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
because it,
That match
because
was
it
so
was
garbage.
because not because it was like the only Chun player that you had to play, but it was like you both were just like fucking around so much that it was just like okay, like Gavin just gave it away to you.
I felt
So,
really bad.
but
I
but
felt
it
really
was
bad we had to play.
but it was like the lead up into your match against Five Star, and I was just
Yeah.
like okay, like this is definitely necessary for you to make that storyline match a reality. You know, like for you to actually, you know, come back all the way from playing all the Makotos, playing you know the Chun that you're comfortable with, just to play this one guy who, you know, if you would have won, you probably would have dropped every single match against me or against Frankie, like whoever you would have played after that. Like you would have been happy if you had that match, but you know,
Well, again,
I have to go with the second best one.
since we're not talking about that match, yeah, you can go ahead and talk about the next match.
Yeah, that's why I had to talk about the second best one, the one before it. But no, in all seriousness, I think Colin versus Sherwin.
Oh, that was a good match.
Oh yeah, that match was really sick.
That match just had to be one of the. I mean, it was kind of sloppy a little bit, but at the same time, it's like
Especially
for
at
Colin,
the end, yeah.
yeah, like it's. But I mean, for Colin, like it was just the biggest stepping stone ever. Like he took a giant leap from being like this one player who went from like just playing on training mode,
Hmm.
who had no confidence, to just simply saying like, you know what, I'm going to top 8, and he fucking took it all the way
Mhm.
to top 8 with that performance, and I was just like, wow, like that's crazy. You know, like you can't replicate that.
Well, let's stay on that train of thought, guys. So let's go straight to the next topic. As far as the results of the singles go, I mean, one could argue that the results for singles wasn't too surprising. For those of you who need a refresher, as far as singles go, Ryan let Blood run. Ended up taking it. Obviously, Ryan now lives in Japan, and so he's gotten really, really strong, and he ended up taking that tournament with Chun. Second place was Nika KO. Even though Lloyd was able to reset the bracket, he just came up just a little bit short. Number 3, Yuki. Yuki with Yun, 5-star, obviously. Number 4, some scrubby Necro player, 5th place. Frankie 3S, New York version. Gavin and Shotokan rounded out the top 8. And so, a couple surprises, I guess. A couple players kind of sneaked into the top 8. But, our next question is, though, to me, what I guess my favorite part about TFC and my favorite part about like tournaments in general is seeing new players come up, like seeing players really like kind of emerge and really announce their arrival. Like, I'm here, I'm really good, and you're gonna have to contend with me for years to come. And so that brings us to our next question. In your mind, guys, who do you think was the breakout star at TFC? Someone who no one really expected to do super well, but someone that surprised you with their performance. I mean, who do you think was the breakout star at TFC? Let's go ahead and start with.
Let's start with you.
No,
Let's
no,
start
no.
with
You don't
you
have
with
to
that,
start with
because
me.
we know who you want to pick.
No, no. Well, we'll start.
You know who you wanna pick.
We'll start with you, Katie, since you said you were watching the matches, because you were a stream monster. Who do you think was who really kind of like.
Well, I mean, there's
Whose
the
coming
obvious
out
one.
party was it?
Like obvious one would be like Colin, because he just did amazing that weekend. His play was fucking solid. Like that's the thing about Colin, dude. Like every time I've seen him play and every time I played against him, he's like super solid. But it just seems like there's instances where like maybe nerves or like lack of experience like kind of cost him.
Mhm.
But like that weekend, dude, it didn't matter because he just fucking played so smart. Like every match that I saw him play, like the one versus Sherwin that Nika brought up earlier, that's when I was like, holy shit, dude! Like Colin is fucking on fire this weekend. So I would have to say Colin, but like my personal one, like, and I know he's played for a long time, but I would have to say Sherwin to me kind of stood out because I'd watched him and I've played with him like plenty of times online, and he's always been good. But just the level of play that he played that weekend made him seem fucking ridiculous to me because, like, as as a person that uses Dudley, like just to see how he was using Dudley, his mobility, like the mix-ups and the patience was fucking sick. Like so, I gotta say Colin, like obviously, but then like personally, I really liked Sherwin's performance.
To me, Sherwin showed just how efficient like you can play Dudley.
Yeah,
Like his Dudley is so razor
it was
efficient.
smart.
Yeah,
was
it's
smart,
it's
man.
efficient. He doesn't press any buttons. He doesn't have to. He always goes for 50-50s. I
And he
mean, he's
builds
just
meter. Like that's the thing.
yeah.
Like what I noticed is he builds meter in the right places and
hmm
pressures at the right time. So it was fun to see.
His Dudley's very efficient. It's not really a
Did
Dudley
did
like
he
you see.
didn't he end up OCVing our team the second time?
Oh my God! Yes, he OCV'd our
He did,
team
right?
in the team
Yeah.
tournament. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was definitely a great performance by Sherwin. How about you, Carson? Who do you think was the breakout star at TFC?
I mean, other than what KD said,
I mean, it could be the
uh,
same. It could be the same person, just for a different reason. You could agree.
I mean, in general, I would say Colin is. I mean, on that list of
Mhm.
top 8, Colin is definitely the guy that he did way better than you think he would
Hmm.
do in a
Mhm.
tournament, right? The only person I might say that should have replaced him is Niaban, you know. But
Nah, nah.
no, Colin did absolutely phenomenal that tournament. So shout outs to him. Otherwise, I actually think. I think. Who do I think? No, I actually think it's Sherwin. Actually, now that I think about it more, because like Sherwin is a strong player.
Yeah.
But yeah, that day was just, like that hour, he was just on fire, and it was just I didn't expect, because he actually eliminated me in singles.
Mhm.
So when I played him, I was just like, wow, this guy's really good. But when he played against like the big boys, it's just like, wow, this guy's a beast.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
he looked sick that weekend, man.
Yeah. So yeah, same answers for me.
All right. How about you, Lloyd? We'll go clockwise
Uh,
here.
I'm like split between Niamban and Shin actually because Shin even though Colin beat him like convincingly in the tournament, that he got up to the point where that was that last match before top 8. So if you think about it, if Shin beat Colin, he would have made top 8. So that was probably one of the stronger performances. But at the same time, I ended up playing him in casuals, and he was getting me kind of pissed, like with the way he was playing. So I'm just like, man, who the fuck is this young player? Like he's pissing me off, but like
Like,
he's doing it
why was he
like
pissing you off though?
because he was beating me. Like
Yeah,
he was
okay.
beating me like like once, like one here, one
Yeah.
here. I wasn't comfortable with that, so I'm like, okay, fuck this. But the fact that he was playing pretty solid like throughout the entire weekend, I was like, it was kind of I guess he wasn't as noticed as the other players were.
Mhm.
Like he was kind of under the radar, and I would say Niamban, but he kind of ran into a wall with the opponents he had to play, and with Shin he had his chance to do it, but he just couldn't clutch it out. But I definitely think that he was one of the breakout stars too.
One quick thing I want to add about Shin is like he doesn't get a lot of attention, but he has been traveling a lot for Third Strike this year. He went
Yeah.
to Texas Showdown, he went to CEO, which he won, and then he went to Evo, and he went to TFC. So he's gotten a lot of experience under his belt this year in Third Strike tournaments, and just like when I played him at Texas Showdown, I immediately recognized, oh, this dude knows how to play. Like he has the knowledge and the experience is like getting there. But seeing how he played that weekend, I thought he would do a little better than he did, just based off personal experience.
Mhm.
But to get like basically one game away from top 8 isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for,
go
for
ahead.
me, that was what kind of caught my attention in terms of breakout status. Like, he was definitely playing a little bit more solid than I expected him to, and it was a surprise when I saw him lose to Colin, because I was expecting Colin to be solid too, and kind of be a really defensive match, but they were going ham at each other, and I was just like, wow, like it could have gone either way. So.
Yeah, I definitely, one of the things that I regret the most about the weekend is I wasn't able to play the Austin guys as much as I wanted to, particularly Shin, because you guys can all attest, a top player, when you sit down and you play somebody, it probably doesn't take more than 5 seconds for you to realize, okay, this guy's this guy's pretty good. Like this guy has a, you could pretty much,
He knows what he's
around
doing.
5 or 10 seconds,
Yeah.
you can kind of tell, okay, this guy, and you get that with Shin, right? Like immediately
Yeah.
when you play him, yeah, he's good. And
Mm.
I wish we were able to play him more. And you're right, just the fact that he almost made top 8, totally under the radar, and that says something about being a good tournament player, like
Yeah.
forget like being a good third strike player. You also got to be a good tournament player. And
Well,
Mhm.
the funny thing with him is like just a personal story that I've heard from Haas several times is he is like always running on like a few hours sleep. And if you've ever like really watched him in tournaments,
Mhm.
he will literally fall asleep during the tournament and then wake up and play a match and then go right back to
Oh,
sleep. Like at Texas Showdown,
Daigo, right?
Awesome.
yeah, like at Texas Showdown when we were commentating and he wasn't playing a match, he would be asleep behind us like on the floor. And then we'd have to like go over and be like, "Hey Shin, like a match is coming up, man. You might want to like get up and go play." And he was
Wake
like,
the
"Oh,
fuck up."
thank you."
and
And
I
then he
heard,
would go and body somebody.
and I heard Sin was there too, not Shin, but Sin.
Then yeah,
And
He was
I-
there. He was.
I think I saw him like once. Like I don't even think I don't think I ever played him. I heard he's a pretty good Austin player too.
he's an old school Austin
Yeah.
player. I think he was like one of the original from like way back in the day.
hmm So yeah, I wish I got to play those guys more. But anyway, so yeah, how about you, Andrew? Who is your breakout
Um,
star at TFC?
So you guys left me with no choice but to pick the people's champ, Luke.
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 Luke. Okay, so
Yeah, he did well.
Luke was at 37 Reloaded. So he was, and that was actually like I'd never seen him before, which is it's amazing because the dude's like a million feet tall. And
Yeah,
but
seriously.
yeah, so I played him at 37 Reloaded. I ended up sending him to losers, but it was a really well fought match because I took it for granted in the beginning, and this is like on the 37 on the main stage, so it was a streamed match, and I was like, oh, it's just some Akuma player, but no, he was doing some really cool stuff, but he still felt pretty raw in terms of just the way he was playing Akuma,
Mhm.
and then now you fast forward 3 years later to TFC, and he's got mad setups. He's been refined a lot more by the Texas scene, and you see, his general's performance, that speaks for itself. When you think of a breakout star, I don't think of just people who make top 8, those surprises that way. I think of guys that you've got to look forward to in the future,
Mhm.
guys that are showing the potential. They're showing that level of growth that all of us have seen in the past with a lot of the top players, guys who have the potential to get to that level. They're not there yet, but that's a breakout star to me. I think Luke gets my vote.
Mhm.
Yeah, like new prospect kind of thing.
Hey, how about this, guys? Next TFC, maybe Colin versus Luke. Maybe a little,
I think so.
little
I think
first to
that'll be good.
5, first to 10, kind
The
of,
the clash of the breakouts.
right?
The glass cannon match.
Clash of the
The clash
prospects.
cannon.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see that. All right, guys.
Oh.
Well, so those were the breakout stars of TFC, and just incidentally, hopefully everyone that came out to TFC this year comes out next year, because Big E did announce that he was going to right away, because of the turnout that we got this year. He's already pledging $1,000 for TFC 2017. So hopefully, Katie, you get to make TFC next year. And hopefully everyone that made it, this year goes again. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. But when we come back, you don't want to miss this, because we're gonna have a Q&A session. We've heard all of the critiques from previous House of Strikes that we're not Stream Monster interactive enough. So we're gonna entertain questions, mostly from the stream chat. So if you guys have any specific questions for any of our hosts, type them up now in the stream chat, and we'll get to some of them when we get back. All right? So stick around, guys, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, guys, welcome back to the all new, all different House of Strikes. Once again, for those of you who are just joining us, we're trying out a new format here. We have three new hosts, all representing a different part of the country. And so now we're going to go ahead and move on to a Q&A session. And so, if any of the stream monsters have any questions, any specific questions, either for one of the hosts or all of the hosts, please go ahead and type them up. And so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of these questions in the chat.
Choose carefully.
Yes, I will choose carefully. So, Colton says,
What's his full name?
Sultan Colton. I have a sinking feeling that that's Colton, who used to be from the Austin crew, and now he lives in Jersey. Yeah, great. He moved from Austin to Jersey. Yeah. That was smart. Anyway, who does that?
Smart stuff.
Who would win in a fight, Mutant or Lloyd?
I think we need some clarification on the fight details.
So
I'm exempt from this question.
So SS Link says in a pillow fight. who would win in a pillow fight, me or Lloyd? What do you guys think?
I think
I gotta go Mutant on this one. I think.
Why? But why would you bet on Mutant? I'm just curious.
Favoritism.
No, I'm saying. I think he can take those body blows. Like Nika would have to aim for the head, man. Like he would have to fucking get that pillow like about head level or shoulder.
Yo, he would drop the pillow and just be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Like I meant to hit you. I swear."
I would probably bet on Lloyd with a pillow fight.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you why.
No, you want to know why? No, I'm picking Lloyd for this one, and for one reason only, is that Lloyd would finish his combo when the opponent is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I respect that.
Oh my.
I respect that.
Just some EX flashes.
I respect that.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So this is a question from Kaz. The Kaz Show, obviously Kazzy from SoCal. If you claim that you parried something in the deep woods, but nobody was there to hear it, did it actually happen?
Was it a red or a blue parry?
Is it a red or a blue parry?
That's a good one.
That's a good question.
The deep
Okay, I parried
woods,
that
okay.
shit.
Not just like the regular woods, but the deep woods. That's what he says.
Yeah.
It depends who claimed it.
Yeah. Like if a Titan says that he parried it, then yeah, he parried it. But if someone other than a Titan said it, then maybe it didn't happen.
Yeah. Who the F are you?
You know, that actually leads into another question.
Uh-huh.
What Lance said
Yeah.
pertaining to Mutant.
Well, before that, we have another one here. We have another question from Colton. So throwing some shade on his fellow Austin player, Rico, Necro player in Austin. So Sultan asks, why did Rico lose to a 12 player at TFC?
Inexperience?
Maybe.
I mean, that would be the honest answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In truth, for
actually,
anybody out there, right?
If
you've never played against a 12 player, like you just, even though 12 does virtually no damage, you're just like WTF. What the heck is going on?
I want to disagree with that. I don't think it's lack of experience. I think it's too much experience because Colton was part of the Austin crew, right?
Oh,
so I think he just knows Rico like really well.
Mm.
They're probably very familiar with each other, and like he was like, if I pick fucking 12, it's just gonna head fuck him.
I don't know. Like I mean, take my advice with a grain of salt. It's not like I main Necro or anything, but like, I don't think Necro has any business losing to 12.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, I really don't think. I think Necro can beat 12 of any of his supers. Like, I think any 3 supers works fine against 12.
Against 12.
Yeah, I think.
So
I think,
Slam Dance.
I think
You would
all
use
of
Slam
the-
Dance
I
in
think
tournament
all of
versus 12.
Yeah, I think all of Necro's normals, just body 12. I mean, I don't. The shock is so powerful against 12. The shock, the electricity, that's so good against him too. I mean, I don't really see how 12 even beats Necro. I don't know. I don't see it. How about you, Lloyd? What do you think? You've been playing 12, right, Lloyd?
Yeah,
Yo,
he
wants
is
to see,
mad fucking work.
I was gonna say, Rico says he wants to see you play versus Since 12.
Oh, okay, next, if I ever go to Austin, when I go to Austin, we'll do a first to five. First to five
I wanna see it.
for enchiladas. First to five for those
Yo, so worth
for
it.
Mexican
That's
food.
the best prize.
Right. And then I'll even give a mercy rule. Like if I get 3 in a row, then Sin can back out of the first to five match.
Oh.
That's how confident I am in this
Pow,
matchup.
pow, pow.
Okay. There's no way I'm gonna lose. I'm not even gonna drop a game. No way.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Strong words. Strong
Yeah, with
words.
Sid 12, not Colt.
So what do you,
For some reason, Ewan just does not lose to 12. Like
no,
no
I
matter
don't.
how
I
hard
don't
he
lose to
tries.
12. The match is gonna be super close. We'll have like no pixels, but I'll never lose to 12.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you do.
No, but what do you think, Lloyd? Because you've been using 12, right? And
Yeah.
12 versus
Well,
Necro.
12 versus Necro, I mean, it is fucking hard.
It is,
like-
right?
It is
It's
fucking
hard for every matchup.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, yeah, but at the same time, like with Necro, it's like, fuck, man, like you just can't do anything because first off, that shock it stops me, you know. So you have to stick to the ground game. If you can't play a good ground game, that's it,
Yeah.
you know. Like it's just you can't get your damage. How else
Battle
you
of
gonna
the
get your
long
damage?
limbs.
And the lows, like guessing Necro will body 12. Like
Exactly too.
Right,
If he gets a
right,
good
right.
guest parry, like Necro gets a good amount of damage.
He gets a combo.
and 12
Yeah,
hitbox is so fat when he
Whereas
crouches.
whereas
Oh my God.
12, like he just gets a fucking super.
Yeah,
like,
or a throw,
okay.
or maybe a throw.
Like ow,
Yeah.
like that fucking hurt.
Like it doesn't dissuade you from guessing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Well, what do you think, Duralath? I mean, you got any good 12 experience?
No. No.
How's 12 versus Alex? How's that matchup?
All I have to do is toward Fierce and I win. Because he's gonna go in the air, so like Alex has deceptively good anti-airs.
Mhm.
If 12 has to commit into the air, all I have to do is just hit a button, and even if it trades, it's always in my favor because 12 takes damage like a pussy,
Mhm.
and Alex hits like a Mack truck. So, like 12 can be very frustrating, but overall, it's like 8-2 Alex.
8-2 Alex? Okay.
Or like 7-3 because Alex is shitty, but whatever's.
Okay. So,
I mean,
What?
well, I remember this theory with 12 where you just get your damage in and you run the clock.
Yeah.
That is so. That's not. No.
No. Not a fan of that strategy?
No, that it does not work. It does not work in today's day and age. Like with the game the way it is now, it does not work because like mix-ups are just too good nowadays. You know the pressure situations that people have. Like it's just like if I was to try to do that against Mutant, he would get me in the corner and it's either a back fierce or grab, and it's like, you know, either that or a down parry, and it's like, what can I do after that? You know, like I can run all I want, but if he gets the bigger damage, doesn't matter where I run. You know.
That's the problem with 12, right? Like his wake up game is just ass. Like he has no options.
Well, I mean, his backdash is actually one of the best, probably the best backdash in the game because not that he has invincibility frames, but it's like
But it's fast.
It's fast.
Fast.
Like Necro. Necro's backdash is fast, too.
it's so fast that it seems like he has an invincibility frame. Like it seems like if like he's like invincible after the first frame of his backdash. It's that fast. So
Right.
you
But
know,
can't Necro,
unless
like if you see that coming, can't Necro just sweep it? Like can't he just sweep?
he could, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, okay, what's a sweep gonna do? You know, I mean, for the most part, Necro can just simply do his light punch. What is it? The tornado hook.
Yeah.
He could just abuse that all day, and what can 12 do?
Mhm.
So, you know, Rico, that's I don't know. Well, the mutant, the Necro main is up here, so
Yeah,
Right here.
never lose to 12. Never lose
He's right
to
here.
12. Yeah,
Nice.
I don't care if the Prophet himself, Muhammad, is using 12. You should never lose to 12. Not with Necro.
So you guys heard it here first. If he ever loses to 12, just retire that Necro, son.
Just-
We're gonna
Yeah,
quote this. If he ever loses a game, he can lose a round, but he can't lose a game.
yeah.
Yeah, a game, a whole game. So now, like everyone is gonna play fucking 12 against you from now on.
Yeah, I know.
They're trying to retire your Necro.
Yeah.
All right, so we got another question from Kaz. How big of a blow was it to the growth of our scene that there was no commentator cam for Duralath in the finals of TSC?
Yo, this man wore a suit.
I
Oh
did.
my
That's a
god.
travesty.
Wow.
The
Well,
travesty.
Well, hey, Exo told me like from the get go he wanted me to lead the commentary because he's
I
seen me do
cried.
it before.
Uh-huh.
And when we got to Big Futeki stream, shout outs by the way to Big Futeki, because
Yes.
without his help, we don't get the full stream and whatnot. But he had to use the cord for the commentator cam in order to hook it into something for the cabinet.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we had time to scramble. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could have gotten another HDMI cord, but I guess we weren't thinking at that point because we were all just really tired.
Mhm.
In the future, it's cool. I mean, I it's a testament because, my favorite, the way you've got to represent yourself as a commentator, and this goes not only to my fellow commentators here, but also those who are thinking about going into that sort of world. If you want to be taken seriously as a commentator, dress the part. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we come from a video game, and it's all fun and games, right? Like, who cares what you're wearing? But if you're part of the broadcast team, make it look right. That's always been my opinion on it. You always have to look the part. You look at commentators nowadays versus what it was before. Before, when it was the days of Family Fun Arcade doing their videos on demand. I mean, it was just Rockefeller. Shout outs by the way to Rockefeller, the pioneer.
Mhm.
But it's just us in an arcade. And then even in the early days of streaming, in 2008, 2009, you didn't see too much in terms of just professional quality. It was just the guys were there to commentate. But now you look at the way people are commentating now, and you look at what they do. At Evo, the commentators, if you watch the Evo stream, Mike Ross and Seth Killian were dolled up in really well done suits, and you gotta dress the part for the part you want.
Mhm.
And if
Yeah.
you want to be taken seriously as a commentator, look professional. You look at commentators in sports; they're always in suits. So again, look the part and feel the part.
Andrew, I get it. I'll wear
Yeah.
a suit next time.
Not
I'm
a
sorry.
All right, dude.
That's
Okay.
the real reason why they didn't have the other camera. They were like, dude,
Yeah.
we can't have one guy in a suit and then fucking Carson over
Yeah,
here. looking-
right.
Who's this Chinese guy wearing a hoodie? Get him off.
Right.
That's that thuggery, man.
Yeah, right. He's got that Sean John, those Sean John sweatpants.
Hey, we're representing past and present, okay?
Yeah.
That's how we do. How we do.
So here's another question. These are all, the last 5 questions have been from Kaz, so thank you, Kaz.
Oh my god.
When are we going to acknowledge that Grimlock is the actual cornerstone
Oh,
of the
God.
American 3S
God. No comment.
Okay.
scene?
Next.
I'll say this. I'll say this about Grimlock. Grimlock is he's not a bad player. For all the hate that he gets and all the shit talk that he gets, I've had some conversations with him, and he is not a terrible player. He just he has like an old school way of thinking about things. So like, I would implore anyone who like thinks he's terrible to go play him. Just go play him, and you'll see he's not terrible.
Yeah, he's not bad per se. He knows a lot of basic stuff. He's gotten he does a lot of weird things that feel to us really gimmicky. And yeah, I've had the chance to talk with him on many an occasion. He's not a bad guy, but I agree with KD. It's just part of it is him mired in him being immortalized, if for lack of a better term, in the magazine, is being named one of the top 10 players. And we've evolved the game since then, and if your game isn't evolving along with that, you're gonna get pushed. You're just gonna get pushed off to the side. That's just the nature of the scene. So, for him, for a guy like him, there's some weird genius coming through. I think he's not a bad guy, but I think that there might need to be a wake up call. There needs to be a wake up call for him to realize that you can't.
The scene has
get away
changed.
with this. Yeah, the scene has changed. The scene has evolved. It's improved. It's risen above what it used to be in 2002.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Carson? What's your take on the whole Grimlock saga?
Grimlock.
I have no comment.
No comment. Okay, no comment. No comment. Okay.
Next.
Lloyd has
Lloyd go.
Lloyd has
Lloyd
left.
is dead.
He
I
has
wonder what happened.
he has recused himself from this discussion.
His
You know-
secret girlfriend has left.
all I gotta say is Grimlock. If you didn't exist, then we wouldn't have the walk back. So that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
And like I've told him before, I want him to come out to another event. Like, just come out to another event, man. Just show your face again, come back out, and have a good time with everyone. Because I think that's really what it is. Like, he's disconnected from like the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure doesn't seem like it. It sure does not seem like it. The videos that he posts on Third Strike Junkies, basically taking the one matches where he wins against our teammate, which I do not approve of, by the way, is one of the few things that makes him a part of the scene as it is now, and he knows that, and he uses that to his advantage to get that type of attention. He could post all he wants, like give me some tips or give me some advice or whatever like that. You don't want advice. If you wanted advice, you would have taken it like months ago when people were giving you advice.
That's fair. Yeah.
You don't just come out of nowhere, post up like 10, 15 videos of you, winning or having close call matches, or losing one and then winning the next few, just to say, oh, give me advice. No, if you want advice, you specifically say, what did I do wrong in this match? You ask a specific player, as an Alex main, what did I do wrong in this match? So, that's all I gotta say.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna waste any more time talking about it, because for a player who's been in 2002, I get it. You're gonna feel yourself a little bit, but no.
Damn, Lloyd went in.
Yep.
I get it. I get enough of that from Lava Heart, from Darren, and I cannot take that from another player. So, mic drop.
This is a good question. So we got a couple more questions, and then we'll call it quits. So SS4 Links asks, okay, if you had to choose the venue for the next big tournament, we'll just say it next big Third Strike tournament. For the next big tournament you go to solely based on access to food, where would you hold the tournament? So, like, if you were, like, say, the TO, and you got to decide where the next big Third Strike tournament is, but, you based your decision off food. Because none of us are fat enough already, right? And so, where would you have your next tournament?
I will say this, though, in honesty, the TFC location wasn't bad. Even though we ran out of power, there was a restaurant across this, beside us. There was a Denny's. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But to answer a serious question, I don't know. How do you beat Vegas, I guess, right?
Yeah, how do you beat Vegas?
Yeah. I don't think there is a better answer.
What other tournament have we been to in North Carolina?
I mean, true.
There should be other locations that we can determine, like,
right.
What's a better location, but
all right,
we can't do that.
How about you, KD? What do you think?
I don't know, man. Like, as far as like Texas goes, I like when I went to UFO. It'd been a few years, and like a bunch of stuff has changed over there. But one thing that I did like is it seemed like the area is surrounded by a ton of different options as far as like food and drink. So I would like to see an event happen at UFO.
And Austin, good. Yeah, Austin definitely one of those culinary landmarks of the country.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah. How about you? Andrew?
I like the Vegas pick. That's the obvious choice, though, because there's like freaking everything there. I dearly want to go to both Austin and New York, just because they're two areas I've like the last time I was in New York was probably over a decade ago. Never been to Austin, and I always hear good things. It's just the food and the culture there. Like for New York, just again the same smorgasbord of like I have all these different options and just the New York flavor. Austin, there are only 3 letters I can think of, and these letters are B, B, and Q. So if there's that, well, definitely got to have some of that. So.
Okay, a little story. When I went to Austin this last weekend, or the weekend before this, when I got there, like immediately the guys were like, "Hey, come meet us at this barbecue joint," because I was like, "Let's go get some food before the tournament." And they took us to this place called Terry Black's, which is like if you guys haven't been there before, like I know there's a few Austin guys in here that can attest. That barbecue is amazing, and like it gives you instant itis. Like as soon as all the Houston players were done, I looked at all of them and I was like, "Oh, we're done. Like this is not happening," because we still had a tournament to play like right after. So as soon as we got done eating there, we went to We went to UFO and like all of us did fucking terrible, dude. But that barbecue is amazing.
Nice.
So shout outs to the Austin guys for treating us to that.
Nice.
So are you accusing the Austin players of sabotaging your performance,
That
Katie?
was the
Yo,
plan. That was
yo.
the
Are
plan.
you
All the time.
accusing them of giving you itis
if
on
they-
purpose?
If they come out to one of our events soon, I will do the same. I will treat them with the same hospitality that they treated us.
That's why Luke is so godlike, right? Imagine see how tall he is and how skinny he is. His metabolism must be like warp 8 or something, dude. Like he must have like the fastest metabolism.
But I will say this for like as far as like diversity in the food that we have here. Like we of course we have barbecue, which is what we're known for, but we also have like, and I will fucking fight it to the death that we have the best Mexican food in the country, like hands down.
Nah,
Like, I'm
dude.
convinced
Nah,
of it.
relax.
I'm convinced
Relax.
of it.
Relax.
You guys.
Like
can't
it. Like I think
sure
I'm gonna have to
there's
mute
good
you.
other places, but it's the best here.
All right, gotta mute Katie. Time out, Katie. Katie gets time out.
Get that ass banned.
I don't know about that. How about you, Lloyd? Where would you wherever sells chicken wings? I mean, that's that.
No, but
Next level was pretty good.
what was the original question?
Like, if you had to pick a tournament just based on like location for food and stuff.
I would say it's not around anymore, but Caesar's Beatings,
Mm-hmm.
because they had like this Chick-fil-A place like down like literally right across the street, like a block over, and then like down the other block they had like this kind of university area where they had a bunch of restaurants, bars, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then inside the venue for the tournament, they had like this bubble tea. They had this bubble tea thing where you can just get bubble tea like at any point you want,
Mm-hmm.
and it was one of the best.
Yeah,
it was
it's
one of the
thing,
best.
man.
It was one of the best bubble teas like that I've ever had.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was definitely a good spot too. Like it was like a lounge area too. Like it was pretty nice. So, for a tournament, I would like that.
Well, not that my opinion matters, but if you were to ask me, for those of you who live in the SoCal area, I think a place that doesn't really get enough credit in terms of like variety and quality is Long Beach.
Oh.
Long Beach, California, especially like because it's close proximity, to Cerritos, Lakewood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can have Mexican food. You can There's some really good Vietnamese food, some good Asian food. There's some barbecue places, and I just think. I know I lived in Long Beach for a while, so I know all the food places, and you could eat something different, like from a different ethnicity every day if you wanted to. So I think a tournament in Long Beach is long overdue. I don't know why there aren't any. I guess there aren't many venues there that can hold a tournament in Long Beach, but
No, not really.
oh well. All right, guys. So thanks for your. Oh wait. One more question. There was another question I wanted to get to, and this will be it. All right. So Kaz, once again with the awesome questions. If you had to mentor one third strike player, that to sort of mentor that person. Like for example, let's just say that you can choose one third strike player, to mentor and prepare them for like for example next year's TFC. Who would it be? Like who would you?
Is that assuming that that they would actually improve or just hit or miss?
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, like I guess yeah.
Well, I mean, if you mentor them, would they actually learn or would they just like revert back to their old habits?
You would have faith.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you would take them
That's part
on
of the
with the
mentoring process.
yeah, right?
No,
You would-
because it's like, okay, say if you were to take on Rage,
no, I wouldn't though.
like-
I wouldn't.
No, but let's just say
Hypothetically.
let's just say hypothetically, if you took on Rage and you said, okay, Rage, I'm gonna make you better for TFC next year, but then throughout the whole entire year of practicing, he doesn't get better. Like what would you like?
I think
But
you
that's
should
not.
just
But
approach it as-
that's not the
yeah.
question though. The question is,
yeah.
if you had to choose a player right now to mentor, like let's just say
Yeah.
prepare him for next year's TFC, who would it be?
You
It
should
could be
have
anybody.
faith that they're going to improve. Yeah.
Okay.
Get out of here, Pio. You don't need no mentoring.
Yeah,
You know who
right.
I want to mentor? I want to mentor. I think his name is Bloodcell, or
Oh
Oh, a Dudley player.
Yeah.
because I played him in
fun.
TFC. I played him. I forgot what tournament.
But how would you mentor him, Carson? You're a Chun player.
Doesn't matter. He's the fundamentals. I mean, like he has. Okay, look. I don't play Dudley, but there is some like concepts. I just like him. I just see some.
You see potential in him.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I would learn Dudley.
Like a player like Bledsoe, it's just like ruthless aggression with him.
Yeah.
So like if I see a player like that, I want to take that aggression, tame it just a bit, so that you can make him play at different speeds. He's got that VTech just kicked in speed, but then we got a cruise speed. It's something a little easier to throw off the opponent. Because when you get players that can only play at one speed, invariably, if the other player is smart, you get figured out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's up to, I think, if you're the teacher, your goal is now to teach that other player, okay, you need to learn a different way of playing. One of the things that I've always learned in terms of anything competitive, the goal of a good defense is to make the opposing offense one-dimensional. Now, if your player is already one-dimensional, half your defense is already taken care of. So now you, as a coach, you need to instill a different way of looking at the game for the opponent, for your player. In this case, with a guy like Bledsoe, teach him how to play a little slower, like force him to, okay, just hold back for a little bit. Don't just always go for button on wake up, 50-50 on mix up. No, sit back just a little bit. Make him think about the game in different ways. You want to expand their mindset, because what happens is you get pigeonholed, and it's up to you as the coach to break the pigeonhole. And
you want to be a little more Chris Paul and a little less Westbrook.
I don't know, but I like Westbrook better. But I understand exactly what you mean there. The idea, think less Mike Brown and more Phil Jackson. Think beyond just what you're seeing on screen, but have a lot of thought beyond what you're doing. So
who would you mentor then, Zero F?
Me?
If you had to choose one player, third strike player.
Mentor Carson.
Mentor Carson, but I don't play chess.
Well, maybe not necessarily for playing then. Like
Maybe you can mentor Sanchez. Maybe.
No, Sanchez and I are fundamentally different players. He just plays to be an asshole.
But like, would you like you do commentating a lot, right? So like, what would you want to like mentor someone who wants to do commentating?
Oh, easily, by far, easily. Like,
Carson.
let me put it this way, guys. Like Carson and I, that was the first time we've ever really met. Let's be realistic. Most people would have thought that before, with watching TFC, that there was a long storied history between the two of us. We only met that weekend, and a lot of that is due to Carson's knowledge of the game plus my knowledge of the game, and then I have a lot of history, being in front of a camera. Like I went to college for this. I have an associate's for acting as well as my bachelor's. So like, for anybody who is looking into commentary, one of the greatest tips I ever learned was, believe it or not, from James Chen. Everyone knows James Chen. When I was starting out as a commentator, he would always say, "Think of why," and it also dials back to the way you play. You can't think of just what's on the screen. You also have to think of, one, why would a player be doing this, and above all, you have to tell the story, and you have to keep everybody engaged. So if there's people that are looking into commentary, I would definitely do that. As a player, I mean, God damn it, you picked Bledsoe, and he was a guy I really would want to mention.
Well, you guys could play for him,
Yeah, I mean, like, when I played him first, like the first time I played him on PSN, I was like, who the fuck is this kid? Like, he's so like off kilter. It's like, why is there so much shit on my screen right now? And then the more and more I played him, I was like, okay, he's actually like, there's like method to his madness. Okay, he's good. And then shows up to New Blood Battle Royale. All right, now we got something here. Now it's time to refine that something. So if there is somebody that would, he would be my pick.
Right. How about you, Lloyd? Who would you mentor?
Probably Colton.
Oh.
Like with the way he's been playing like recently. I remember I specifically sat next to him, and I saw him play. I forgot who. I don't know if it was in the team tournament or in the generals, but I saw him play, and I'm just like, wow, like this guy is actually, he's getting a lot better, like just from playing with the Doylestown guys. And there's like a lot of specifics to Yang that people don't know about, but he kind of has that ground game solidified. So if he knew how to use the dive kicks properly and how to pressure properly, I would probably pick him. Like if I was to train him for the next year, he would destroy all you guys.
Okay, I don't
So
know about that, but well, here's a question though, right, Lloyd? Because I know you feel very strongly about the way you play Yang. I know
yeah,
you feel really strongly. Not to mince words, but you think that the way you play Yang is the right way. but
I didn't say all that.
but so how do you like? And I guess this goes for everyone, right? Like, how do you like? What if Colton wants to play Yang a different way? Like, would you be able to maximize like his abilities and his strengths and his preferences, or would that be a challenge? Because like when Carson was like, yeah, Bledsoe's a Dudley player, and then I started thinking, maybe it'd be actually even more difficult to mentor somebody who uses the same character or mains the same character you do, because when we main our characters, we feel so strongly about our style, the way we play the character, and so if we mained a player that uses the same character, you know, what are some of the challenges there? Like, we don't want to like create a clone of ourselves, or maybe we do, or I don't
Yeah,
know.
for me, I think it's just you know, yeah, there's gonna be differences in like the way we play,
Hmm.
but the general foundation of like the character itself, like what works, what doesn't, what can you do in this matchup? It's all about the options that you choose.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to teach him, it would probably just be like, if I was to do like a low forward light punch slash on Alex, you're free to do a low jab after that because he can't do anything.
Yeah.
He's negative at that point. He'll be able to do whatever. Something like that. Like he can use it if he wants to, but the fact that he knows it is something for him to keep in the back of his mind. So I mean, yeah, he might be a little slower in terms of like his play style, but the fact that he knows it will carry him a
Right.
long way.
Right.
So that's just what I feel.
I mean,
It
that's
doesn't
that's
matter if his style is different.
yeah. I mean, that's a great point. There's a point like when you're mentoring. So I believe when you're mentoring somebody who plays the same character as you, you actively, as the coach, have to separate yourself
Hmm.
Right.
from your character, and you have to treat it, like Lloyd said, as tools. And when you're coaching somebody like that, part of it is that you're filling all of the holes where they don't have that specific tool for this specific situation.
Hmm.
And once you give that to them, like Lloyd said, it's up to who you're teaching now to apply it to this given situation, whether they get to apply it or not. And it's going to take time to do that too. You're not going to expect them to hit that, immediately once they've learned it.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
like
Years,
ultimately,
years.
yeah.
like the way I would like to, like, if you look at it as like a coach or something, like whether it be like a basketball coach, like hitting coach for baseball, tennis coach, whatever, they don't try to change the specific style of the player. They don't try to change that because that's what got them to the higher tier of playing. That's what got them to the majors. you
Right.
know so you never want to really mess with that. You just want to give them the option, like, maybe switch it up a little bit over here, be a little bit more,
Right.
like, use this option instead of holding back or something like that. Like, just little stuff like that will carry a long way. So
Yeah.
So how about you, Katie? Who would you mentor,
Well, it's okay. So this
online
question
or
is
off?
yeah. This question is a little more pertinent to me because my scene is it's still in its infancy. Basically, like we essentially just started this year, so all the guys playing are like brand new to the game, and they're all still like very raw in terms of like game knowledge and experience. So like for the last, I want to say for the last 4 or 5 months, all I've been doing is just playing casuals and playing different characters against them so they can get used to matchups. They can get used to like pressure situations and Oki and all that stuff. And I feel like if I had to choose one, I would just like, it would be tough, man, because I just want to choose the guys in my scene. But if I had to choose one, it would be there's a kid from Dubai. He's 18. Like he just started playing the game, and his sensibility about the fundamentals of like Street Fighter is really high. He understands footsies. He understands spacing. He understands baits. Like there's all this stuff I don't have to explain to him because he's played other fighters before, but he's still so young that he has plenty of time to grow into his own style. And so he plays Urian, and his name is Zabi. I'm sure a few of you guys know him. He's played just I want to say just like Kyo, Haas, and the Austin crew. Like as far as like his experience goes, like that's it. Like those are the only guys he's really played that are like really good. So for him, it's more or less just like getting the experience and getting the game knowledge. But like he's like every Urian player, he's way too concerned about setups and like screen positioning with Urian to get like the setup that he wants to get. And I want to like emphasize more the neutral game because to me I feel like just piggybacking off the analogy that you guys had of coaches, the coaches don't try and change the players, right? But there is like a sort of mentality. Like you'll have a defensive coach, like Tom Thibodeau. Like he emphasizes play hard, play defense, and if you don't do those two things, then you're not going to be playing on the court. But at the same time, he still lets them like be the players that they are. Like what made them successful is what he wants you to continue to do. So I feel like there's like for me, like if I'm their coach, I want them to focus more on the neutral game because I feel like that's where we lack way too much. Like if we're all focusing on the neutral game and we're all building our ground game and our footsies and our buffer parries and all that stuff, then the rest will come because that's just going to come with experience and with game knowledge and with playing each other more. But like in the meantime, I feel like we need to have that foundation to build on first, as opposed to trying to do all the flashy stuff like the setups and the parries and all the mix-ups and stuff. So like I feel like when you're mentoring and you're trying to go that route, it's a lot harder because all you can really do is play and point out situations like, hey, in this situation you shouldn't have done this, you should have done that, or you could have done this instead of that. So it's kind of interesting because I've never really like taken on a player before, like to try and like grow them. But with this scene, like I've had to because there's almost no one else that has that game knowledge that's still playing.
Mm-hmm. All right. So hopefully that answers your questions, guys. And so that does it for the Q&A session. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that segment. And if you guys have any more questions, you don't have to wait till you get on the stream. Shoot us an email. This is Third Strike at gmail.com or houseofstrikes@gmail.com. You can also tweet us your questions. Everyone's Twitter addresses are on there. You can also tweet us at This is Third Strike as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and close the stream. And so now it's time for parting shots. This is where all the hosts just kind of say what they want to say, to end the show. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Lloyd. Anything you want to say to close the show?
Jamma City, guys. Do not forget Jamma City, for the love of God. All right? We're doing it in the essence of SBO. We're going to be running ST, Vampire Savior, and Third Strike, all with pop bonuses. And it's going to be on December 16th to 18th, so please be sure to come out. Book your tickets.
At NEC.
At NEC 17. Book your hotels, your flights, and register. Please register at biggiegaming.com.
All right.
And if you need more info, I'll post the link in the chat. So.
Okay. So Carson, parting shots.
I just want to say good luck to everyone attending Co-op Cup this in 2017, and I really hope Team Tits kicks some ass. Good luck, guys.
All right, thank you, Carson. Katie.
I'm gonna have some humble pie in my parting shots.
All right.
The last time I was on your show, my parting shot was at EXO, and since then I've been pretty like publicly critical of his handling of TFC and all of that nonsense. But just based off of how it went, feedback from different players, from what I saw on the stream, I have to eat that humble pie, man, because that event was ridiculous. He did a great job. The North Carolina guys did a great job. Everyone involved, as far as commentators and streamers, Bifuteki, all those guys, did an amazing job. So I have to give props where props is due. So props to EXO, props to the NC guys, props to everyone involved, and I'm looking forward to next year.
All right, awesome. Duralath?
Guys, we love Third Strike, and look, this is the game that has invariably changed my life. It's probably changed everybody else's life who's watching. There's been a lot of controversy, especially on some posts on SRK, about people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't believe in the community. It's really toxic. It's very political." Fuck all that noise, guys. Listen, talk to new players. Talk to people who are interested in the game. Get them playing the game. Listen, we're here. We love the game. You saw how good it was at TFC, and that was how good this community can still be. People think this is a dead game, and let's be honest. This game has been very quiet for for many a year now. But this is the time where we need to start picking it up and talking to players, getting them into it. Look, ST experienced its revival. It's now our turn to be that old man's game that gets played at every tournament. So reach out to players, talk with them, grow the scene as best as you can. I know some of us don't have access to an offline scene, and it might be a little difficult for you to create that. Play however you can, but above all, just keep playing the game and keep talking with people, keep networking, because that's how you keep this game going.
Yes, and please join the world famous Third Strike Junkies page on Facebook. How many members do we have so far? Do you have so far?
Just like over 1,000 something.
Like 1,500.
All right.
Yeah.
So once again, guys, you have been watching House of Strikes. Again, new season, new beginning. As Lloyd says, the next This is Third Strike event will be at NEC 17, Jamma City Arcade Team Battle, where we're going to run 3 separate team tournaments. On the Friday of NEC, we've decided to run the New Blood Battle Royal for Third Strike, and so definitely check out the rules for that. This is open only for novice players, and like Duralath was saying, this is kind of an event that we designed just to encourage people to try Third Strike. And then obviously the next day we have the main event, the 3 separate team tournaments. Top 4 for each tournament's going to go on to Sunday, final Sunday. And so, each team tournament has a pot bonus. If you don't have a team, don't worry, show up, sign up on Friday, or you can talk to people online, Third Strike Junkies, This is Third Strike event forum. Check out one of our shirts, teespring.com/doors, This is 3S. If you like what you see here, it really helps us out if you buy a shirt. And then last but not least, follow us on our various social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, the Instagram we never update. And
I update it now. We're
we
back on
update it now.
Instagram.
We update it now in Teespring store. So once again, guys, thanks for all of you guys joining me. So on behalf of all 4 of our hosts, Nika KO, Carson, Katie Alpha, and Duralath, this is Mutant XP signing off, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Later, guys.